Hello and welcome to Journey with Aristea. I'm Aristea and I'm so grateful to have you here with me in this moment. In this video today, I'm going to talk about a center that I practice acupuncture at and also work in a role as a coordinator and director of Energy Enhancement System programs. So currently I am in the Frequency Forest, which is a room in Float Valley. Float Valley is a human optimization center that has all different amazing services, including the Energy Enhancement System. So the EE system for short is this system behind me that you can see with these screens. So there's 2 towers on this side of the room, there's 2 towers in front of me. And basically this system was created by Dr. Sandra Michael. She created this system to help humanity awaken our consciousness, to activate our DNA, to remember the optimal state of healing, the optimal state of self. So people come into this system for 2-hour sessions, they recline back on the chairs or beds, and they just go into this rest state. Basically, the best way to receive the energy is going into this rest sleep state. That's when, the body heals. So when we come into this room, we're going into that rest state. So what's happening with the system? What are these screens? How does it affect us on a cellular level? So basically there's 2 components. There's the screens, which you can see, and then there's the computers behind the screens. So the computers are sending out EMFs, which is electromagnetic fields, and they're all identical fields, and they're all laser calibrated. So in this room we have 24 units. They're all laser calibrated to hit the center point in the room. And what this does is it creates a toroidal field, a toroidal energy center. And this energy center is a field that has an infinite flow of energy. So it's like an infinity sign, right? There's this infinite flow of energy being created in this room with the identical wavelengths that are converging and colliding together. That is what we call the scalar technology. So this technology is bioscalar technology. It's applied physics. So when we talk about physics, let's talk about the scale. So let's say we have 0 to infinity, and then in between we have the speed of light. So from 0 to the speed of light is measured in hertz. Okay, so energy measured in hertz, other units of energy as well, and that's what we can see, that's what we can feel, that's what we can touch, that's what our reality is in. So it's in this 3D understanding of hertz energy. When we go beyond the speed of light, that's beyond what we can see. So that goes into the 5D, that goes into the quantum. So the quantum is the name that physics used to call scalar quantum energy beyond the speed of light. When we're in this room, because those electromagnetic fields create that toroidal fields, that creates the scalar energy, and then our bodies on a cellular level respond to that. So they respond by increasing in oxygen levels, increasing in pH, so allowing the body to become more alkaline rather than acidic, and then increasing in cellular charge. So when we increase either oxygen, pH, or charge, it actually works at the same thing. So for example, when we increase oxygen, what we're doing is we're actually increasing the pH, because on a pH scale, it's from 1 to 14. 1 being the most acidic, so hydrogen chloride, and 14 being the most acidic, okay? So typically we want to be at like a neutral range, like 7. If we have cancer, for example, our cells are more acidic, our body's more acidic, which is more unhealthy for our overall body function, for like physiological states in the body. And when we're in this system, if we increase in oxygen, as we go across the pH scale, we see an increase in oxygen. So 14, the way that we measure like acid and bases is comparing hydrogen, the concentration of hydrogen, and the concentration of OHs, okay? So as we increase in oxygen, we're increasing an OH. That's an alcohol group. That makes the the um, the chemical more basic. Okay. So when we increase in oxygen, we increase in pH, the body becomes more alkaline. When we increase in oxygen, we help things like the electron transport chain and our mitochondria increase ATP in our body. ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is the way that our body produces energy. So we take glucose, our cell converts that into ATP so that it can do all of these different cellular processes. Okay? So on a cellular level, we're getting that increase in oxygen, increase in ATP energy level, allowing the cell to do what it needs to do to function optimally. This system also works with the DNA. So they've had studies working with telomeres. So on the DNA, at the end of the DNA, it's known as a telomere. And a telomere in like reverse aging, anti-aging studies have been shown to correlate to our lifespan. So with longer telomeres, longer lifespan. With shorter telomeres, shorter lifespan. And they've done research with this system to show that it has increased the telomere length, which is absolutely incredible. Okay, so all this being said, there's more. There's more. The system works with the Fibonacci sequence. So the Fibonacci sequence is a mathematical equation that's basically cellular replication, right? So 1 + 2 = 3. And then it goes on and on from there. This is the way that our cells replicate. And like a human embryo, a plant, like whatever it is, everything in the universe works in this law of the Fibonacci sequence of cellular replication. So this system also works with that. The idea is that this system is created to work with the vibration of the body to access deeper healing and to again, for the cells to come back to remembrance, okay? So the whole point is to create this environment where our cells, our DNA, are in this optimal healing environment so that it can shift into the state of healing that it needs to, whether that's, a skin cell or a kidney cell or whatever cell. It's speaking the language of the cell to be in an optimal state of healing. Okay. With all that, so over this course in time, I've been learning, right? I've been learning this. I'm in this process of learning this system, of learning the healing of this system. With all that being said, for me, the biggest way that I've been learning with this system is by working one-on-one with people as they commit to doing so many hours within the system. And I've been able to, be with people and see the changes that they've been able to see. And I didn't know what would happen. I didn't know what would happen. The system came here, I learned about it, I found it really interesting. And then I was asked to work with people one-on-one in this system at Flow Valley. And what we have learned so far and what we've seen is truly amazing, to the point where I bring in my family members to the system who need help and assistance because I've seen it help other people, and that's the biggest thing. I've seen biomarkers reduce of cancer. I've seen CT scans reduce of tumor size. I've seen some blood sugar regulation. I've seen emotional and spiritual connection to self increase. I've seen sleep parameters get better. So I'm seeing these things like one-on-one, hands-on, working with people, and that's been my biggest learning curve, and that's why I want to share this. I want to share this technology, and I keep coming back to why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? How did I get here? And why am I doing this? And what I'm coming back to is being humble, being honest, and being curious. So I'm not going to sit in front of here and say, I know everything about this technology and I know exactly how it's going to support you and how it's going to help you, because I don't. Because every person is different and we all have different trauma, we all have different physical conditions. So there isn't, and I don't think anyone would say that this is exactly what's going to happen. So being humble, being honest. I'm going to be honest with where I'm at, and if people ask questions that I don't know the answer to, I'm not going to pretend like I know. Being curious. Every single day, I learn something new about this, and I learn how it's supporting people. And I learned things that I really wish that I had have known before, so I could have supported someone better. So it's been such an eye-opening experience to work with this medicine and see how people respond to it and how it supports people. I am so open to any questions that people have, so feel free to comment the questions below. And I am just on this continuous journey of learning and being open to what the system has to offer. For myself, particularly, I've seen benefits in my mood. I've woken up, so I've come and done a 2-hour session, then the next day I've woken up and I just felt like this crazy feeling of gratitude in my body. And it's not even like it was like overwhelming and like a lot to handle. It was just like, oh, that feels so good. It feels so good to be grateful for life and to wake up feeling like just connected to life. And it was just such a deep sense of gratitude. And you look at these different studies that talk about the vibration of different emotions and different feelings, and gratitude and authenticity are one of the highest vibrations. And so to have those moments of like feeling that vibration in my body was really memorable for me and beautiful. I've learned that the detox component of these sessions are really important. So we, at Flow Valley, we have the infrared sauna, we have the ozone sauna, and then we also have the salt bags to use for either a foot bath or like a full bath. So the detox is really important because when we're in this system, what can happen is things are going to come up to be let go. So that could be like an emotional release, or it could even be like heavy metals, toxins in the blood and the cells. So it's important physically to really support that detoxification process with the salt or with the saunas. And when you don't have that component with it, you could experience like more fatigue. It's just not as like a smooth transition, and I've done that because there's times where I haven't done the detox and then I'm kind of like dragging my feet and I'm tired. So that's something that I've definitely learned. But yeah, I'm gonna keep learning and keep working with people, and I'm so grateful for that. And I would absolutely, like I said, love to answer any questions that you have, and I appreciate all of the time that you've taken to listen and receive this information. And I'm so blessed to be here and to be sharing these words with you. Thank you so much.